Hey guys, Romero here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a maintenance video on how to change the spark plugs on your Sea-Doo GTX 300. Let's review the list of parts you'll need. Starting with the 3 and GK spark plugs, I use model KR9EG, a 5/8 magnetic spark plug socket, a wrench or ratchet that works with that socket, a T30 Torx bit. I like to use a small electric drill just to speed up the process. The threads on the spark plug and the ignition coil bolts could be kind of long. I'm also going to list optional parts or tools you could use to perform this install. Alright, so to start the spark plug change, we're going to remove the cover over the engine that just pulls off. You're going to have your 3 ignition coils, and as you see here, you use a T30 to remove this bolt and to get access to the spark plug. I'm just going to break in loose with the ratchet, then I'll use the drill to remove it, and that's free in the background. Alright, so the next step is to remove the ignition coil to give you access to the spark plug. You just pull this up, give it a little twist. If you need extra space or you can't remove the ignition coil, you could remove the cable just by pressing that little clip there, and this comes out. And now you can just pull it out. Alright, so now using your ratchet and your spark plug removal tool, you'll just stick it down the hole and loosen it up. And that's it. You do that for all 3. If this happens to come out right here, you just set it back on. That's your spark plug.
Put a little mute.
Here's the side-by-side comparison of the old and the new spark plug. Sea-Doo recommends that you swap these out every 200 hours. I, however, swap mine out every 50 hours with every oil change. The reason for that is that I ride in South Florida, so the weather here is extremely hot. I have performance mods, and I also ride year-round. And for the price of $30, it's affordable to replace every 6 months. I also referenced an online spark plug diagnosis image to help potentially catch any issues. Luckily for me, my spark plugs look normal. Okay, so to install a new spark plug, you just do the reverse process, put it into the removal tool. I like to install the spark plug by hand just to ensure I do not cross thread the spark plug. I'll then use the electric drill bit just to speed up the process. I'll finish torquing down the spark plug with the ratchet. Now remember that because of the crush washer, you'll have a little bit more resistance. Keep tightening until it stops, and then give it about another quarter to half a turn. If you have a torque wrench, Sea-Doo recommends that you torque this down to 18 to 22 foot-pounds. Alright, so it's time to put the ignition coil back in. When you're putting the ignition coil, you want to go straight down because the spark plug actually goes in the middle of it. As you see, there's a hole there. So just to prevent any damage to the ignition coil, just try to go straight down. When I put it in, I like to go about halfway, then reconnect the cable to the ignition coil. Pop it in, make sure the seal around the ignition coil is nice and straight. Then you just push it in and you screw it back in. So I like to use the drill just to speed up the process, and then I use the wrench just to give it a nice little snug. This doesn't have to be super tight. There's no real benefit to over torquing or over tightening that. And that's it. You just repeat the process for the next two. All right, and the last piece is putting the cover back on. And that's it. Your spark plug change is done.